Sista is asking why can Jews speak freely about the Holocaust and even get sympathy for what they have been through, but black people who have gone through slavery can't get the same empathy, despite the system still racially built to marginalize black people and still oppress them years after Jim Crow was abolished. Now, Jews are allowed to talk about the Holocaust non-stop and be given sympathy, but when black people mention slavery, we are trying to be victims, or we have to hear that happened to your ancestors, not to you. You couldn't get away with telling a Jew to get over the Holocaust since they didn't live through it. Their ancestors did. And not to mention, it didn't end for black people after slavery. Jim Crow and segregation came immediately after that. Yet we are told to shut up. Check out this clip and let us come back and discuss.
I've always wondered why slavery isn't treated the same as other tragedies in human history, like the Holocaust. Now, let me make it clear, I am in no way disrespecting the Jewish community and what they went through. The Holocaust was a travesty. And the empathy, support, reparations that the Jewish community got, they deserve. But my question is, why isn't slavery treated the same way? Slavery lasted for hundreds of years. The conditions in which slaves were treated, inhumane doesn't even cover it. Slavery was creatively insane. Like, the things they did to those people, sometimes I don't even like learning about it, because it's who does that to another human? And even after slavery was abolished, there were systems put into place to continue to subjugate black people. Systems that still exist today. Black people are still oppressed in America, and if we even bring up something like reparations like other groups got, people get offended. If the Holocaust is brought up, we respect it, as we should. But if someone brings up slavery, people act annoyed or they don't want to talk about it. Like, growing up, I had to read Anne Frank. I had to read The Book Thief. I don't remember having to read books written by enslaved or freed Black Americans. But now we have people trying to remove what little we do have about the history of slavery and what Black Americans experienced out of the history books in school. We are still discriminated against. And when we do want help or talk about reparations, we're actually called lazy. Or people want us to forget about it and say that happened so long ago, like we're not still dealing with the repercussions today. I don't know, though. I just think it's interesting.
I've said it so many times in my segment, the majority of the Jew people are white. Yes, we went through oppression. The Jews and the blacks went through some hardships, but Jews will get preference because of their skin color. I did mention that the people of Congo were brutally killed by King Leopold, yet there is nothing about that in the history books in Europe. But we are forced to learn about Hitler, which makes me wonder, is he as bad as they describe him to be? Jews were offered the courtesy of building a nation, building wealth, while we stayed with our oppressors, even drifting in the era of neo-colonialism. And I think the fault lies in our education system. We were taught victimhood because Black Americans are always taught to remember slavery under the conditions of victimhood, white supremacy, reparations, and color. Black Americans don't view the historical perspective of how Black Americans overcame slavery. They were taught to always be the victims. And when they practice the victimhood, they are shamed for, openly speaking about the injustices of slavery. They are manipulated and gaslitted to believe that speaking about slavery and highlighting the injustice of Black people is you are being the victim. But the education system taught them to be victims. They didn't teach them to see the strength and the resilience and how our Black ancestors worked hard to overcome slavery, Jim Crow, segregation. You were always taught to look at slavery in the lens of being victims. So I blame the education system in regards to that. It's taught everywhere. We are taught to overlook our resilience. We are taught to overlook our ancestors' strengths, to bypass it, to water wash it, to not take it seriously, to not claim it in our education system. We are always taught to be the victims. And when we practice being victims, we are shamed for it. But the Jews own everything. I can't even say a lot about the Jews on this platform because they own the bloody platform. So I can't say anything. This video might get scrapped. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations.